Volodymyr Zelenskyy says he's had a productive phone call with Donald Trump, days before the US president's deadline for Russia to make substantial steps towards peace with Ukraine or face bruising new sanctions. The Kremlin appears unrelenting in its war goals. It's carried out its largest attack on Lazova, a railway hub in eastern Ukraine's Kharkiv region. Local officials say more than 30 drones struck the area, killing 2 people and injuring more than a dozen others, including 2 children.
It was very scary. The explosions came out one after another. Although we tried to stay calm, it didn't work. We were worried about the children.
Everyone scattered. Some sat in corridors. Others got into cars outside our building and drove out of town. I guess that made them feel safer. Some were in basements, some in shelters. My husband and I stayed home, waiting for our child.
Donald Trump has given Vladimir Putin until Friday to agree to a ceasefire in Ukraine, or the US will slap secondary sanctions on Moscow's trading partners, hitting countries which buy Russian oil with severe tariffs. In his latest conversation with Mr. Trump, Volodymyr Zelenskyy says the two discussed the finalisation of a US-Ukraine drone deal and how Russia will be penalised if this week's deadline lapses.
It is extremely important that Moscow has begun to feel global pressure from the United States and the looming threat of tougher sanctions over this war. One of the key tracks is sanctions on Russian oil. For Russia to choose peace, it must run out of money for war. That's what we're working towards.
We have a meeting with Russia tomorrow. We're going to see what happens.
That meeting will involve Donald Trump's special envoy Steve Witkoff, who is expected in Moscow later today. Now, at this stage, there are few signs the Kremlin will bow to Washington's ultimatum. It has consistently criticised moves to cripple Russia's economy.
We hear many statements that are in fact threats, attempts to force countries to cut trade relations with Russia. We do not consider such statements to be legal. We believe that sovereign countries should have, and do have, the right to choose their own trading partners.
More Patriot missiles will be sent to the battlefield to aid Kyiv. Sweden, Norway and Denmark will contribute more than $770 million to a NATO-led program to supply Ukraine with US-made weapons. EU officials say all means must be used to force Russia to end its war.
Russia is not interested in peace. Ukraine is, EU is. Nobody wants more peace than Ukraine and EU. And the second point is that we welcome any pressure, and in particular US pressure on Russia to accept a ceasefire through any means necessary.